Welcome to a brand new home tour in Florida. Today we're in Marion County, Florida, looking at a house that's brand new, freshly completed, and it's priced under $210,000. This one right now is at $209,900. Let's check it out. First time on this channel, my name is Jodenny Ogando. I'm a Central Florida realtor and a mortgage broker as well. So I can help you both on the mortgage side and the real estate side as well. Most people find me on this channel watching videos on their phones, their TVs, and their cars. And one person even saw me like on a plane. They were watching me on YouTube and they decided to call me. And you know, they reach out to me and they kind of give me an idea of like what they're looking for. And no matter if you're looking in the next month or two, 3 to 6 months, year, or even a few years from now, I would love to get started on your home journey and start sending you properties or start putting you, in the right direction of like kind of like what you need to do to get started on that home buying process. My cell phone number is on the screen somewhere, also down in the description. And when you call that number, it'll lead directly to me, which is actually something a lot of customers like as well, because when they actually get to talk to me, they're like, oh, wow, you're the guy in the video. You sound very knowledgeable. I want to deal with you. I don't want to be brushed off to somebody else. And they actually really like that about me. So my direct number is 407-759-5677. And let's check out this awesome home under $210,000. I can't believe I'm finding deals like this late 2024, early 2025, brand new homes, $210,000. Move-in ready, by the way. You're sitting on a 0.23 acre lot. So you're close to a 1/4 acre with no HOA and no CDD. So you kind of get an idea, it's peace and quiet over here. Nobody's really bothering you. They are building a new home next door as well. So if you hear a beeping sound, it's the machinery that they're using to build the home next door. But we're looking at a brand new home, hasn't been lived in yet, fully completed, move-in ready right now. You have this nice long driveway that leads to your 1-car garage. Inside the home, you have 1,077 square feet. Just a pretty nice size home, first time home buyer, investment property. You're trying to, downsize to a smaller house. Not a bad house, 3 bedrooms and 2 full bathrooms. All right, so when we step in, the only thing I kind of don't like is that there's carpet right here. They had to save some money so you can actually update the flooring later once you buy it. $209,000. Now, this isn't the biggest house. I'm looking for a great value property for you to, save you money. But if you want bigger homes, there's homes in the area, 1/2 acre, 1 acre, 3 acres or more, still priced pretty low as well. This video is about, finding you the absolute best deal for the best price. And that's what we're looking at today. So 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, 1,077 square feet, 0.23 acre lot, no HOA, no CDD. And we have the living room here. And then we have the kitchen right over here next to the little, I wouldn't say it's a dining room, but like a little nook, I guess. This is gonna be the other angle of your living room. So the carpet's clean, don't get me wrong. If you just take your shoes off when you come in or whatever. Nice little wall here, kind of like maybe where you would put the TV. I don't see the cable outlet there, but if you have like a wireless system or something, you can have your TV there and have your internet plugged in wherever the cable outlet's at, or have the utility company come out and install the cable outlet for you, depending on what provider you go for the internet. When we get to the kitchen, the flooring starts to change and you're gonna have no more carpet over here. That'd be kind of weird, right? Carpet in the kitchen. I think I've seen that. I've actually seen carpet in a bathroom before in a mobile home in East Orlando. All right, so we have the kitchen here. The appliances aren't here right now, but when you close, you'll have some appliances here. Brand new kitchen. Everything smells good in here, looks good. Paint is fresh. What do you think about this nice small kitchen? So right through this door, you're gonna have access to your 1-car garage, which is gonna lead right into your kitchen, which is pretty cool. You're gonna have your appliances here. You already have the dishwasher here. Refrigerator is gonna go right here, so you can cook your little breakfast right over here. Grab your snack right over here. The only thing is, we don't got a pantry, so where would the snacks go? What I really like is that you have a laundry room inside the property. So laundry is right over here. You don't have to go to the garage to do it. So you can do your laundry right over here. And right over here, you have a little closet, which I would probably use for the pantry because there's no pantry over there. Or if you up northerners come down here, this could be like your coat closet. That's the coat closet right there. All right, you got the thermostat right there. And then the whole property, the rest of it, all the living spaces are gonna be right over here. So you got full bathroom here, primary bedroom with bathroom, walk-in closet, and 2 other bedrooms over here. Not sure if I mentioned it already, but the front of the property faces west. Depending on which direction the house needs to face when you're buying it, this one faces west. I've had clients before reach out to me and tell me that they can only buy a property that faces a certain direction. My hours of operation are till 10 p.m. Eastern pretty much every day. So I have a team that helps me, with, setting up property alerts, sometimes showing homes. But when you're calling my number, it'll get directly to me, and I can have different people sometimes show houses for me, set up the mortgages for me and everything. So I could be 2, 3, 4 places at once. We're about to go to the home studio to kind of go over the home buying process and everything. But this is it. This is a great deal. I mean, you're looking for properties that have an amazing deal. We're under $250,000, right at 209,900, just shy of 210,000. 0.23 acre lot, no HOA, no CDD. We're in Marion County right now, Ocklawaha, but I cover all of Florida. So if you need something like in Central Florida, further north, South Florida, I can make it out there for you to help you as well. Just reach out to me. Direct contact info is 407-759-5677. I'll see you on the next video, but let's go to the office real quick. Peace. All right, so we're back at the home studio for a little bit. For those of you who have seen my videos before, you know what I'm about to talk about, so you can finish the video now. For those of you who are new here, this is where we're gonna talk about the steps of buying a home, some of the numbers associated with that, and as well as some things to look at as far as life expectancy goes with some of the big items. So as far as like some of the steps when you're buying a home, one of the first steps is consulting with a real estate agent like myself. We're able to put together like a synopsis of like what you're looking for, your time frame, budget, and especially with someone like me, I'm also able to help you with your mortgage needs. I'm also a licensed mortgage broker account executive. So with one credit pool, I'm able to shop multiple lenders at one time to see what type of programs you qualify for, what type of options there are, if there's any down payment assistance programs. We have all sorts of different programs being a mortgage broker. So after we get past that initial consultation of kind of like seeing what you're looking for, and some of my clients call me from other states, so this could be like a Zoom call, this could be a phone call, but there's a lot of times where someone calls me, right? They're hyped up, they saw my video on a weekend and they call me and they're like, oh, I'm looking for this, start sending me this, and then completely ghost. And then there's times where we take the extra step of doing that consultation and actually talking about the goals and everything, and those relationships have blossomed into actual transactions, and those nurtures were so much better. So depending on how motivated you are, I'm gonna pick up the phone or call you back, but you get to decide where it goes next, where it's just a property list being sent to you that doesn't go anywhere because you have 30 different realtors sending you property lists, or if you actually need someone like me who sold hundreds of homes, is also in the mortgage industry as well as the real estate industry, and actually knows what they're doing and have gone through many different scenarios where I might have, a thing or two I can, help you with on your journey. So you get to decide that. But basically, you first want to do that consultation and talk about what the needs are. Then we want to start putting the property list together, tailored to like how, what you're looking for. And I do this 2 ways. I have an automated search and I have a manual search. Sometimes the automated search goes out too many times where it ends up in your junk or spam folder. After we've identified the properties that you want to check out, we go check them out either in person or we'll do a video tour for you where we'll send you like a recording of it or virtual tour. And then we want to negotiate the offer. So those steps are, consulting with an agent, putting the property search together, getting pre-approved if you need to, or having your proof of funds ready, seeing the properties, negotiating an offer. Then we get into the contract. Now we're helping you handle the communications between the title company, the home inspectors, the appraisers, the lenders, the surveyors, everyone that's involved in the transaction. So you want to get a home inspection within the first week, as well as start the escrow file with the title company. Then in the second to third week, we want to get, the appraisal ordered, the survey ordered, the title company is working on the title work, lenders working on the lending work. I'm making sure like a puppet master that everyone's doing their part and communicating with everybody. And then around the third to fourth week, we're wrapping things up and we're trying to see, was there any issues, any repairs, any renegotiations, any appraisal issues, any cloud on the title or title issues or anything that can go wrong, to try to clear that up before we do the final clear to close. Within 72 hours of that property closing, title company is going to be, they're going to try to be ready, lender's going to be ready, they're going to rebalance numbers, you're going to see the numbers, and we're going to see what you're going to sign at closing as far as a settlement statement goes a few days before the closing, sometimes the day of or the day before, but normally you'll have access to that before you get to like the closing table, so there's no surprise on what the numbers are going to be. And in all those steps, it could take anywhere from 3 weeks to like 6 weeks or even longer, depending on, you know, what could go wrong. And who you work with does matter, because sometimes we can kind of like see in advance, you know, this might be an issue. For example, I went to a property and I saw that one of the panels on the electrical was outdated. And I simply made a comment that this might need to be replaced and it might cause insurance issues. And lo and behold, yes, it caused insurance issues. And then that property was still on the market like a few months later also, because the seller was trying to truly sell it as is. And we were trying to explain that in its current condition, it's not insurable to new standards. So who you work with does make a difference on sometimes how the journey is going to go. Now, when it comes to life expectancy on some of the items on the house, I have like a pamphlet here, which an inspector gave me, kind of like detailing what the life expectancy is. Now, this can change based on, you know, how you maintain those items and everything. But something to keep in mind when you're buying a resale home or even a new construction home is the life expectancy of a roof can be anywhere from 12 to 15 years if it's shingles. So sometimes you'll get it like pressure washed or cleaned up real good, but the inspector's job is to determine how much life is left on that roof. And if there's not a lot of life left on it, the insurance companies might give you issues when you're trying to buy the home, trying to reinsure that. So the current coverage doesn't just disappear. For example, the new coverage might not be an option if there's not much life left on it. There's many different ways to negotiate a roof. Sellers can go and get it replaced. They can throw a concession on the deal. If the house appraised for higher than what you're buying it for, we can raise the price of the house, ask for some concessions back. The seller nets the same amount of money, and you're able to finance or walk out with cash at closing to do some of those repairs that you want to do. Now, getting insurance temporarily sometimes is an issue as well if you have one of those big items that need, you know, to be addressed, but we have our workarounds that we've done before. So as far as like roofs go, 12 to 15 years. If it's a standard shingle, if it's a metal roof, you got up to 60 years coverage there, 60 years. Now, as far as cooling goes, central air, 10 to 15 years, depending on how you maintain it. We had one instance where we showed the house and the AC was like, the HVAC was like 29 years old, but that thing still ran smooth. So what the seller did was they basically added a home warranty to the equation just in case if it goes bad in the first 12 months, because they were not going to replace it. If they kept maintaining it every year and got, you know, parts replaced and everything, they just were not going to pay the expense to get that fixed. And it was almost a deal breaker, but it was working perfectly fine, and the buyer was okay with getting a home warranty on it. Now, as far as plumbing goes, if the property's on septic or well, septic, the sewer pump, 5 to 10 years, and then the well pump, about 10 years. So when you're buying a property with septic or well, you want to get those inspected as well. It will cost more money to get those inspections, but trust me, it could save you some money if there's potential issues that you can't see at the moment, to negotiate that before the deal is closed. So it's worth it, in my opinion, to pay for those extra inspections. And then as far as appliances go, a dishwasher could last 5 to 12 years, a dryer 10 to 25 years, garbage disposal 5 to 12, oven range 15 to 20, and a washing machine 5 to 15 years. Those are some of the life expectancy of some of those items throughout the house, for you to keep in mind when you're buying a property. Now, always consult with a professional inspector to actually check the property out, obviously, to get their opinion on that. Now, as far as like what it costs to buy a home, I have in front of me a settlement statement from a recent closing that we did, and I wanted to go over what's going to be outlined on this document that you're going to sign at closing. So you're going to have the section with the financials first, which is going to show the sale of the property price, any deposits, any loan amount. So what you're buying it for, what deposit you put down, and then what the mortgage is going to be on it, if there is one. That's going to be right there. Prorations and adjustments. So any county taxes are there, HOA assessments are there, anything that has to do with the prorations or adjustments are going to be there. The next section is going to be loan charges. That's where you're going to see any points, origination fees, underwriting fees, flood certification, tax certification, prepaid interest, and then you have loan charges and other loan charges. Impounds are next. So we have homeowners insurance, And there is the impounds, and then title charges are gonna be on the next section. And then we're gonna have commissions. Depending on when you're watching this video, if it's before August 17th, 2024, commissions are being handled a certain way. And then after August, or on August 17th and after, commissions are being handled a different way. And they're gonna be paid out a little bit differently. It's gonna be negotiated up front with the buyers, because for a long time, the sellers were the ones that just flat out paid the commission. Now they're changing some of the rules up, and I'm not a lawyer or anything, but we have our ways of how we're going to navigate those waters when the time comes. Depending on when you're watching this video, the way that the commission is being paid out can change. So that's something your buyer's agent or me would negotiate directly with you. Commissions is next. Government recording and transfer charges, any payoffs on the mortgage is going to be next, and any miscellaneous fees. Now, one of the things that's very confusing when you're buying a house is property taxes and homeowners insurance. So what happens is, when you're buying a property, the property taxes are going to be prorated between the seller and the buyer. And the scary part is that a lot of people see it as, oh, the taxes went up. Well, no, the taxes were reassessed eventually after you bought the property. So what happens is sometimes homes don't go for sale for a very long time, and they're at a certain, rate with their taxes, or, tax amount every month. And then after some years of the home being sold, the current tax rates or whatever are going to be higher. So when the home gets reassessed about a year later, the property taxes are going to adjust to what they should be. And it scares a lot of people, because that means that the numbers are going up. Because a lot of times when you're buying homes, a lot of times they're a little bit higher. You're buying it at a higher price than what they sold before. There are some times in like the luxury market where you're buying houses that were super expensive and they get super low, but based on my history and my sales, our averages are like 350K price points. We've sold over $34 million in homes, and at an average of like 350. Those are like gonna be like scenarios where they appreciated as we help those buyers buy those. Not too many scenarios where they depreciated. So the property taxes get adjusted up. And what happens after that is the homeowner's insurance is also charged up front. So property taxes, homeowner's insurance is charged up front to get paid out at closing. But then your mortgage is due about a month or two later, and you're going to see it again monthly now, property taxes and insurance. And that confuses people. But what's happening is they're prepaying it now for the next payment for the following year. And the mortgage company is putting that into an escrow account, where at the end of the year, or when it's due, they'll then make that payment for you. And what's scary is that if the lender you're working with doesn't escrow the correct amount, then what happens is there could be a shortage when that time comes, and then you'll have to pay the difference at that time. And another thing is, sometimes to make deals work, lenders will just use the current tax bill and not tell anyone that it's gonna readjust. And it could be a scenario where they're super close in DTI for qualifying, and if anyone were to say anything about that, then they may not qualify. So the lender doesn't say anything, and then a year later you get surprised with that bill and it's higher, and you truly can't afford the house anymore. So that's just it's a tragedy that then you have to sell your house, or short sell it, or rent it out, or do something, because you're surprised a year later, when you just finished settling into your beautiful home, that now it's going to be more expensive. That's information on property taxes, the numbers, life expectancy, and what to expect on when you're buying a home.